Hi everybody. How's it going? I'm here to share another short story with you. So right now, I'm off from nursing school. So I'm using like a lot of time to write. I mean, nursing school in itself is just really, there's just so much pressure to do well. It's very rigorous and it just takes a lot of my time. So I don't get the opportunity to write very often, but whenever I have like a break or I just don't have any class, I try to make the most of it and I write as much as I can. So I had this story that I had started, and I kind of put it aside for a while. I don't know when I started it. Maybe I started it like, I don't know, like a year or two ago. But it's funny because I finished most of it. I finished most of it today. So I'm hoping to finish the rest like maybe tomorrow. And then I'm not sure if I should publish it, I'm always like a little I'm a little unsure if anybody wants to read it or whatnot, but I just appreciate the people that do take the time to listen to my short stories, or my, shall I say, cold readings. So but I will give a very big disclaimer. Okay. If you are religious in any way, okay, if you are religious in any way, like you have a very strong belief in, like, I don't know, whatever you call the higher power, and I completely respect that. I respect all religions, okay, don't get me wrong. All right, but this story is going to challenge those beliefs. Okay, so I highly recommend, unless you're okay with, unless you prefer to, you purposefully stay here to listen. I am telling you right now, it's better if you just skip this video. So, all right. So for the people that are comfortable with just another short story, here we go. It's called Falling Angel. In heaven, there are no criminals. The all-powerful Doug, who is in charge of heaven, ensured that. He was immortal and the definition of perfection, who never committed any crimes. The same applied to the angels who lived with him. The angels were scarce in number, but Doug felt that he had enough of them to maintain order. One of the angels was named Apollonia. She came to heaven after getting killed in a car accident at the tender age of 20. Apollonia was driving to class as a nursing student, about to finish her program in 2 months. Excited about the near future, Apollonia's mind was occupied about what her plans were. Definitely a vacation from this program, Apollonia thought, considering how rigorous it has been for her. She put on her favorite song while driving on the freeway, devoid of traffic. As she drove the recommended miles per hour, give or take 5 miles per hour, she noticed a car's back tire pop and the car swerved, hitting a few other cars at the same time. The driver was trying to control the car but was unsuccessful. As the driver hit a few cars, the car took a tumble and was unable to be salvaged. Apollonia's instincts kicked in, and stopping her car in the middle of the freeway, she approached the wrecked car on the side of the road. A few other people joined her, but didn't have any medical experience. Apollonia forced the door open, but was unable to. She found a volunteer who could help. "Can you open the door? Please call for help," Apollonia yelled. The door was finally open, and Apollonia found the driver unresponsive. Taking her to a safe spot, Apollonia checked her breathing and pulses, which were not absent. Apollonia shook the driver. "Wake up! Wake up!" The driver woke up all of a sudden, but still felt a little dazed, with barely a scratch. "You were in a car accident. Do you have pain anywhere?" Apollonia asked desperately. The driver sat up and peered over her car. "Just in my lower back. Is my baby okay?" Apollonia looked over at the car. Apollonia thought for a moment that a baby was not going to survive the impact, but she went towards the car anyway. As she ran towards the car, a Ferrari sped up to beat traffic and hit her. The paramedics and sheriffs approached the scene. "Over here!" a bystander yelled. 2 paramedics approached Apollonia to see if she was still alive. Her pulses were absent, but she was taken to the hospital to see if anything else could be done. Time of death, 13:15. Dr. Blake pronounced after trying to resuscitate Apollonia. "That was a horrible accident. A car must have hit her and she got killed by the impact. It's too bad. She's so young," a nurse reflected with Dr. Blake. "And I heard that she was in nursing school, almost ready to graduate. It's too unfortunate. We need more nurses." "You're right about that. I'll call the family." The nurse walked away from another casualty that she will think about one day, maybe while she's grocery shopping or driving to work. Apollonia didn't know what hell was until she became a messenger for Doug. Every few days, Apollonia visited Lucifer to deliver news from heaven. It was part of the job description. Apollonia was beautiful in every sense of the word. Her skin was olive, her hair was blonde, and she had blue eyes. She was known as the most beautiful angel in heaven. Little did she know what Doug's plans for her would be. "Are you Lucifer?" Apollonia's voice echoed in the chambers while inspecting Lucifer's habitat, which was quite lonely and humid. She saw a river of dead souls staring back at her, souls who did enough to deserve a spot in hell. It was undoubtedly a place that Apollonia would never dream of living in, since it was the opposite of what she surrounded herself with in heaven. "Yes, I am." Lucifer sat on his throne, which consisted of gold and silver. He quickly looked at her as if she had his dinner. Unfortunately, it was just news from heaven. "Doug wants you to come see him as soon as you have 10 souls enter your river. He wants to address the overpopulation of your river." Apollonia appeared distant from Lucifer, both literally and figuratively. "You can't help it when people are not so good, like yours truly. Maybe he must send some angels to earth to address the issue," Lucifer laughed. It also appeared that he was having trouble hearing Apollonia since she was pretty far away. "Why don't you come a little closer? I won't hurt you." Lucifer motioned her while a gust of air forced her close to him. He noticed her beauty right away. "I'm fine right here, thank you." Apollonia went back to her original spot. "I don't think you'd want to stand there." Lucifer looked at her. He felt that he was doing her a favor since an incoming soul barely touched her as it entered the river. She recoiled since she wasn't sure if evilness was contagious. "See what I mean? You like to play by your own rules." Lucifer smiled at her while he stood up from his throne. "I like my angels fiery," Lucifer said as he approached Apollonia. He didn't have any wings that Apollonia could see, but it appeared that he glided towards her. "You know, I was once an angel myself." Lucifer held Apollonia's chin and pointed it up so she could see him. Apollonia was confused by Lucifer's statement, since angels never do anything wrong. She used her wings to propel herself away from Lucifer's grip. "Do you have any news for Doug?" Apollonia was slowly leaving due to the discomfort that Lucifer was making her feel. I guess not. You can leave now." Lucifer sat back on his throne and grabbed the document on his armrest. Apollonia left immediately after being told to, since she was getting a little creeped out. "Nobody tells me to go," she thought. As she arrived in heaven, only a few minutes away, Apollonia saw all the other angels with Doug, who was also sitting on his throne. He glowed among the clouds as if he were the source of light in heaven. The sun was jealous. He wore white and had a beard that looked well maintained. When he spoke, it was as if the heavens experienced aftershocks. He had a very low voice, which may have been the culprit. How did Lucifer take it? Doug almost knew the answer to his question, but wanted to ask Apollonia anyway. Apollonia knew that Doug could see everything that happens, especially since he has the power to end life on Earth. I had an interesting encounter with him. He doesn't seem very friendly, but I delivered the news to him. He told me that he used to be an angel. Do you know about that? Doug changed his expression from that of happiness to disappointment. He wasn't ready to tell Apollonia why Lucifer was no longer an angel like her. Maybe he was talking nonsense. Something he spends a lot of time doing. Doug smiled at Apollonia and caressed her hair as if he was one of his daughters. Do you like your job, Apollonia? Doug motioned another angel to come towards them. I'm happy with my messenger job, but Lucifer is starting to creep me out, Apollonia said, hoping Doug would listen to her. Unless you have another one for me. For the time being, I chose you and a few other angels to go to Earth to help people with their suffering. This is something that I have my angels do every so often. Grace, one of Doug's angels, took Apollonia's hand and put it on a box with a projector with images that only Doug and Grace could see. You know Grace, right? She's my angel who can witness what will happen to you on Earth. I'm pretty sure I already know what will happen. I just want to make sure, and I want Grace to know. Doug turned on the projector himself. Apollonia was unable to see what the projector showed. She had to live her fate. Doug, Grace, and Apollonia sat on a cloud while Apollonia's hand was on the projector box. Grace looked at the images with Doug, briefly looking at Apollonia in disgust. What do you see? Apollonia became curious. She wanted to know her fate, but unfortunately, Doug and Grace could not tell her. Thank you, Grace. I'll take it from here. Grace levitated out of the cloud with her wings, carrying the fate of Apollonia. I want you to go to Earth and help suffering people. Angels do this only on an occasional basis. I would like to prevent the overpopulation of souls in hell, if possible. This is a big issue that we're having right now. Anything you say, Doug. This was a common catchphrase among the angels. Apollonia has never been to Earth to heal people of their suffering. You still haven't told me about Lucifer as an angel, Apollonia questioned Doug. There's nothing to know about that. He's trying to justify his actions, Doug told Apollonia. What actions are you referring to? Apollonia started to sound curious about Doug, although Doug didn't see the need to explain himself. I'll tell you when you return from your time on Earth. Do you understand me? Doug was starting to lose a little patience. Anything you say, Doug. Apollonia didn't want to continue the conversation. I guess I'll leave now. Great. You'll be going at the next sunrise, Doug said to her while smiling. He walked away from her. Maybe I'll make a difference on Earth. I wonder if this job will be easy, Apollonia asked herself. She thought about asking other angels who have already done this community service. But first she wanted to ask Grace what she saw during the projector test. Grace? Apollonia went to her room, surrounded by pillars made of clouds and a waterfall. Angels never had to worry about thirst since Doug's love nourished them. Hi, Apollonia, what brings you here? Grace was trying to find something to do. She recently did the community service that Apollonia is about to do and is taking a break from it. Hi, Grace. I just wanted to know what you saw in the projection. Apollonia was getting more curious by the minute. Now, Apollonia, I can't tell you what I saw. That's between me and Doug. You'll just have to wait until you get to Earth. I know you won't tell me, but you looked at me a certain way when you saw the projection. Is something bad going to happen to me? Apollonia began to get concerned. I think you'll be fine. That's all I can tell you. Grace hesitated as she turned around and walked away from her. I know you're lying. Lying isn't a trait that an angel is supposed to have. Apollonia projected her voice at Grace. If I tell you what I saw, Doug will remove my wings and I can no longer be an angel. I'm sure you understand that you would do the same thing. Grace walked towards her. I know deep down you want to help me. It's in our nature to help others, Apollonia told Grace. It's also in our nature to follow Doug's instructions. Grace grew impatient. After looking at Apollonia momentarily, Grace pulled something out of her pocket. I want you to have this. It helped a lot when it was given to me. I was once in your shoes. Grace looked at Apollonia. Apollonia looked down at the object that Grace put on her hand. It looked like a necklace with a black pendant. What does this do? Apollonia's hand was closed by Grace's. It's to save you from trouble. It adjusts to the temperature of your body. Don't ever let it turn a red color. This will help you locate other angels on earth, helping heal others. All right, Grace, what kind of trouble are you talking about? Isn't Doug always going to be with me? He will, but not as much as when you are in heaven with the rest of us, Grace said solemnly. Were you in trouble on earth? Apollonia asked Grace. On earth, you'll always get in trouble sooner or later. Luckily, we're able to get away from it. That's all I can tell you, Apollonia. You must go now. Grace disappeared from Apollonia. This was precisely when Doug approached her. Are you ready to do some healing work on earth? Doug asked Apollonia. I guess so. Apollonia hid the necklace from Doug. All right, close your eyes. Doug covered her eyes with his hand, sending her to earth with his power. Los Angeles is the prime location for crimes of passion, boredom, and everything in between. Entertainment is well known in this city. The name explains it all. It's the city of angels. This city has good and bad parts, but the good outweighs the bad, although it doesn't always seem that way. Apollonia fell to the ground on Ventura Boulevard. She looked up at the sky where she came from. It seemed like heaven was far from where she was right now. She noticed the sun was in the way, making her squint her eyes and turn her attention away. She looked down at the asphalt, which consisted of busy streets and people crossing the street, when the lit-up hand turned into a stick figure. I wonder what that means, Apollonia thought. It was at this moment when someone ran into her. Hey, watch it! The stranger told her while the air was knocked out of her. Apollonia looked at the stranger, who was not talking to her, but another stranger who happened to push him. I guess people can't see me, Apollonia thought with some relief. Apollonia looked at the necklace Grace gave her, now holding it in her hand. It was a green color. I wonder what this means, Apollonia thought. Apollonia walked around to familiarize herself with the area. She saw Mother and a little girl beside her eating ice cream, dripping from the sun's heat. I wonder if they are friends, Apollonia thought. Apollonia saw people laughing at a cafe at the corner of the street, where people were staring at screens and doing some type of exercise with their fingers. That looks unusual, Apollonia thought. Earth looks way different than heaven. It seems rather interesting. This was when she saw a homeless lady by the bus stop, where she decided to park her temporary possessions and tent. Apollonia looked at her necklace, which turned an indigo color. She guessed that this color meant the person she looked at was suffering and needing healing. In Doug's name, I heal you from your suffering. May you have the mindset of an enlightened being like me, Apollonia whispered while she touched the homeless lady's forehead. The homeless lady's face lit up. Apollonia smiled and walked away from her. Lucifer started feeling antsy because he hadn't seen Apollonia in a while. He began to notice when another angel delivered news from heaven. Do you know where the other angel that delivered the news to me is? Lucifer questioned the angel who delivered the news. Yeah, she's doing her time on planet Earth. She's healing people who are suffering. She should be coming back soon, the angel said before he left. Lucifer started to think about her while clutching a necklace of his own. It looked very similar to the necklace that Apollonia currently has with her. He put on the necklace, which turned a gold color. Guess I'll be making a trip to Earth. I must see my princess, Lucifer said while he stroked the pendant of his necklace. He put his hands on his eyes before he left hell. Apollonia couldn't help but notice how busy people appeared with the device they were holding. One was walking across the street while looking at it, and another was talking against his ear with it. Apollonia wanted to know what a device like that could do, but at the same time, she tried to focus on her mission to heal people from their suffering. While walking on Ventura Boulevard, she entered through a burger joint called In-N-Out. The smells intoxicated her, primarily from the kitchen and at the tables where people enjoyed food. Apollonia looked at her necklace, which had turned a yellow color. Apollonia could feel the energy in this establishment, and she knew that the yellow color meant that people were happy to be there. Humans get hungry, Apollonia thought, and this is what they eat. Beef patties sizzled on the grill. French fries were taken out of the fryer and salted before being placed in neat little containers and bags for people to take home and enjoy. Countless people sat at the tables, chomping down their hamburgers and cheeseburgers. Some people took the time to enjoy their food. Others were eating while looking at that mysterious device Apollonia had seen earlier. Apollonia sat at an available chair in the busy restaurant. It was with the father and two daughters at a table who couldn't wait for the burgers and fries. They almost couldn't stay in their chairs from the anticipation. One burger with fries and a vanilla shake for you, honey. I know you don't want to eat burgers, Matilda, so I got you a strawberry milkshake. Hubert said while he looked at his meal, ready to be devoured after a tough day at work. I miss Mom. When is she coming back? Matilda asked him. Apollonia could already tell that Matilda had sentimental feelings about animals. Matilda started to cry. Honey, I'm sorry, but your mom isn't returning. She had cancer and she didn't make it. Hubert looked at Matilda and thought of a better answer for her, but he grew up knowing that honesty is the best policy. I want to see her again. Is there any way I could see her in heaven? Matilda asked her father. Honey, heaven doesn't exist for people who are alive. Only people who are dead can go into heaven. So I have to die to see her? Matilda was an intelligent 8-year-old. We're not talking about dying right now, honey. Daddy is hungry and needs to eat or he will have a blood spike. You know how Daddy gets when he has blood spikes, right? Yeah, I guess. Matilda savored her strawberry milkshake but couldn't get over the idea that she could never see her mother again. This was when Apollonia's necklace became an indigo color. It was Apollonia's cue to heal Matilda of her suffering. Apollonia bent down towards Matilda and put her 2 fingers on Matilda's forehead. With all of the power vested in me, I heal you of your suffering. May you grow up happy and filled with strength. This was when Matilda's eyes lit up. Honey, your shake must taste very good, Hubert told Matilda. It does. Matilda tried to drink more quickly, but the shake was thick and she couldn't get it through the straw at the speed she wanted. Honey, slow down on the shake or you'll turn blue, Hubert said as he almost finished his double-double. Doug and Grace exchanged glances while looking at the projector images. Grace just finished documenting Apollonia's time on Earth in a database. Grace was used to seeing images of the fates of the angels she knew, but was quite surprised at Apollonia's fate. How accurate are the images when they are projected, Doug? Grace started to question the efficiency of the projector since she had never seen anyone's fate even close to that of Apollonia's. It's pretty accurate, especially when you compare it with my knowledge of Apollonia's future. I have to confide in you, Grace, because you might have to be the angel to help her in case she gets in trouble. At least you will know what will happen to her to help her properly. I know, but how can she conceive a child when she's not supposed to? And out of all angels, a fallen angel? Grace questioned Doug. This was something that angels were used to doing, which was to defy Doug. Apollonia is a beautiful angel. She tempted the devil herself. You might be able to stop her from committing this atrocity. But if we know she will commit such an act, why not tell her about it? Aren't we hurting her more? Because I cannot go to earth by myself, I must stay in heaven to maintain order in the universe. Nobody can do this job but me. I'm sure you can only imagine how difficult my job is when nobody can stand in for me. Doug never showed any weakness when talking to his angels, especially Grace. He hoped it would influence his angels to have the same strength. Whatever you say, Doug, Grace told him. She hoped that the fate she saw in the projector wouldn't happen. She knew that the projector was highly accurate, but there would be some margin of error. Only Doug would see the truth, Grace thought to herself. Only he should know the truth. Maybe she wasn't qualified to know the truth, but just enough to know what to do in times of need. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop there. I'd like to read more, but I guess what I'll do is, again, if you're interested in reading more of the short story, I'll probably publish this soon, and you're more than welcome to read it. But I usually publish my short stories on Amazon, so you're more than welcome to read them. I think the price of the books are like $2.99. So, but I do appreciate your support for being here and listening to my short story, and I really would like for you to read the rest of the story if you can, and I'll definitely announce when I'm gonna be publishing it. But anyway, a thumbs up would be nice if this story was interesting to you. But I hope this story gave you perspective and you learned something new. All right, take care.